There's a month of good times for the whole family in March on HBO. First, Oliver is down on his luck until the Dodger turns up.
You and me together again, Oliver, just like in the old days.
Can they find the will that restores Oliver's fortune before Sam Sniperly finds them?
Sniperly has the will and is sure to destroy it.
Our heroes prove that where there's a will, there's a way in Oliver and the Artful Dodger. Then Victoria and her mother aren't seeing eye to eye.
If you would like to be treated like a grown-up, you have to start acting like one.
But a twist of fate finds Victoria back in 1944, face to face with...
My mother?
The generation gap gets a new wrinkle in My Mother Was Never a Kid. Next, meet two boys from different cultures who are brought together by their mutual love of animals in The Camel Boy. And it's the heartwarming #1 bestseller of A Wild Horse and Her Foal.
There's one pony has a heart set on staying free.
Follow the trail that leads to adventure in Misty. Then travel to the Great Barrier Reef with David Attenborough to find living clues to how animals evolved at the beginning of time in Life on Earth. And time is running out for Robin.
Robin's best chance for successful transplant is her mother.
As far as I'm concerned, the woman is dead.
She's my mother?
Two of Hearts, an HBO family playhouse. Now here's a fella in need of a friend.
May I consider that an invitation?
Can Puff help Jackie help himself?
Puff, I'm afraid. Take me back home.
Can Jackie rid Honolulu of the living sneezes? It's a tale of wonder and whimsy courtesy of Puff the Magic Dragon. Then get set for some mental gymnastics with the newest edition of those mind-boggling brain games. And where else can you find some fabulous fun? Why, in 4 new episodes featuring those friendly Fraggles of Fraggle Rock. For the best in family fare in March, there's no place like HBO.
The following program is called
Brain Games number 5.
It has been known to drive people
bananas. Parents should watch
only at the discretion of their children.
I said no, Mom.
No.
No, Mom.
No, Mom.
So hold on to your thinking caps.
And let us begin.
Brain Game. And now, game number 1.
Yikes! What was that? Boy, it's frightening out there. But am I scared? You know what I think? It's time to play Safari Solitaire. Okay, so let's play. You pick the card that doesn't belong. Now, when it comes to size, one of these animals is the largest. Which one of these animals is the largest animal that ever lived? Is it the African elephant? Tusk. The white rhino? The dinosaur Brachiosaurus? Or the blue whale? Well, it's not the elephant. He's a lightweight, only some 6 tons. And it's not the white rhino. He weighs in at a little over 3 tons, and that's after a full meal. And it's not the Brachiosaurus, even at a hefty 80 tons. Sure, he threw his weight around, but where did it get him? He's extinct. The winner, the largest animal that ever lived and still does, is the blue whale. The blue whale can weigh some 150 tons and be as long as 109 feet. Boy, I could use a tenth that size. Yikes! What was that? Did you hear a gorilla growling? Well, this is no time for jungle jitters. On with the game. Which of these proud animal mamas gives birth to the most offspring at one time? Queen Harriet the honeybee? Gertrude the goat? Rhoda the rabbit? Or Priscilla the python? Which one of these animals has the most offspring? Well, it's not Gertrude the goat. She usually has twins. And it's not the rabbit, despite her reputation. Rhoda only averages 6 to 9 bunny babies at one time. And Priscilla the python, she can have 100 or more eggs just waiting to hatch and slither. But she's still not the winner. The proudest mom is the queen honeybee. She can lay over 2,000 eggs in one day, more than 1 million in her lifetime. Congratulations, honey. Yikes! Another growl. Was that a jackal cackle? On with the game. Now, which of these animals' ancestors go furthest back in history? Which one has the oldest stories to tell? Is it the turtle, the clam, the horse, or the dragonfly? Well, the horse, he's old, but not that old. Only 50 million years. And it's not the turtle. He sure has stories to tell, but they only go back a mere 225 million years. And it's not the dragonfly. He's been celebrating his birthday for only 260 million years. The answer? It's the clam that's the oldest. This spineless fella goes back some 500 million years, and what pearls of wisdom he could reveal if only he hadn't decided to clam up. Holy mackerel! Brave men, have no fear. Did you hear that? On with the last hand. Now, only one of these animals lies down when he goes a beddy-bye. Which one of these animals sleeps lying down? Is it the hippo, the sloth, the lion, or the flamingo? Well, it's not the hippo. He floats upright in nose-deep water. Loves his waterbed. And it's not the sloth. This lazy oddball sleeps upside down. Guess he doesn't know which end is up. And the flamingo, he can sleep standing up on one leg. This acrobat never toddles. So, the animal that lies down when he goes off to dreamland is the lion. This big pussycat sleeps like a baby when he dozes. But when he's up, watch out! Yikes! And that's it for Safari Solitaire, my favorite card game. Help! When's the next bus to Texas?
Game number 2.
Eyeball 20.
Twisters. Hey, the closer you get, the weirder it looks. Eyeball Twisters. Hey, what is it? This one's red all over. Boy, it sure can get you into a jam. Often looking for shortcakes. What is it? Hey, it's a strawberry. If you had 1,000,000 of these, boy, you'd be rolling. They don't change, but they make change. Each one is signed, but not by the owner. It's a dollar bill. Well, these smoothies have real drawing power. They're colorful as a rainbow. They come in a box. I can tell you're gonna get it. They're crayons. This one lets you change your mind when you make your mark. Good for second guessing. Now, it's often worn down when you need it the most. You got it. It's a pencil eraser. Now, this is whole when part is missing. Its coats may be different, but the shape never changes. It's dandy for dunking. It's a donut. Well, that's it for Eyeball Twisters.
Game number 3.
Main Street, USA. And you are there. On an ordinary day, in an ordinary town, when some ordinary people doing ordinary things are suddenly struck by something extraordinary. It's time to play UFP. Unidentified Flying Pranksters. Observe carefully. Some very ordinary folk doing their everyday jobs. You must notice all the details, because when the pranksters have done their silly business, things will be different. The pranksters will change something in this picture as unsuspecting Sam the tailor works carefully on a tuxedo. Jerry the jeweler. What will the pranksters do to this hard-working man who begins each day at the crack of dawn? And all those pranksters. What will change in the office of Doris the doctor? Observe carefully the work of Bertram the baker. What will the pranksters do to his bakery? And will George the jock still be twirling weights after the pranksters have landed? And when the pranksters arrive, what will happen to Baryshnikovsky, the ballet dancer? Suddenly, turmoil, wild laughter, great giggles. A sure sign the pranksters have landed. The pranksters have landed. And just as suddenly, the pranksters disappear. But some things have been changed ever so slightly. You must discover the changes. Take Sam the tailor. What has happened to his dummy? Ah, it is now wearing a bridal dress, not a tuxedo. And Jerry the jeweler. What has changed in his shop? Aha! The clocks! They have changed from 6 to 9. And what is different in Dr. Doris's office? Her patient has changed from a crying baby girl into a boy trying not to cry. Oh, my! What happened to Bertram's happy birthday cake? It has changed from chocolate into a white frosted cake. And what about George the jock? He's gone from 2 small weights to 1 big dumbbell. Do it, Georgie! And finally, Baryshnikovsky. He's given up his beloved ballet for the old soft shoe. Pranksters. Another day that's not another day. A day when hard-working Americans fell prey to the UFPs. Unidentified flying pranksters. And you were there. Or were you?
Game number 4.
It's time to play Who's a Whatchamacallits? The game in which we give you clues, and you tell us who or what. Once he was a boy named Peter. A bite got him started in a new career. His superhero is a sticky fellow who spins a web around his enemies. Trouble gives him that special tingle. He's Spider-Man. He's a fat cat who never sheds real fur. His tales are for reading in Sunday papers. He's very private, yet his life's an open book. He likes long naps on warm laps. He's Garfield.
This guy is a madman who throws wild and crazy parties. A sharp dresser, he never goes anywhere without his top hat. He's full of riddles and nonsense, and his manners aren't the nicest. A citizen of Wonderland. By his clock, it's always tea time. He's the Mad Hatter.
He's a liberal fellow. He believes the rich should help the poor. You can always find him in the forest. He loves a maid, but she never cleans house. Straight as an arrow, he leads a band that makes England merry. He's Robin Hood. He's a green giant, but not so jolly. When he sulks, his bulk bulges. Superhuman strength. When he changes moods, he has to change outfits. Wherever he goes, he carries his own banner. He's the Incredible Hulk.
Game number 5.
Tales of Rongovia. This is the secret book of Rongovia, a place where everybody is out of sorts. And no wonder, because everything is out of time and place. To decipher the book's code, we will tell you tales, and you will tell us their mistakes. Let's begin. It is the year 1810, and the inseparable Brothers Grimm are collecting their collections of favorite fairy tales.
Say, Brother Jacob, let's begin with Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, good brother, and we will end with Happily Ever After. Now, in collecting their stories, the Brothers Grimm could have used all of the following items except one. Which one of the following could they not have used? A printing press to publish the story of the repulsive Rumpelstiltskin. A lead pencil to tell the story of Hansel and Gretel. A keyboard typewriter to type Snow White. A goose quill pen to scribble away at Sleeping Beauty. Well, they could have used a quill pen. They had been used since ancient times, and the printing press had been around since the 1440s. As for the lead pencil, lead had been used to get the point across for some 350 years. But the one thing they could not have used was the typewriter. It wasn't on the market until 1874. And by then, the Brothers Grimm had met the Grim Reaper. And now we turn to 1271. The teenage Marco Polo is about to set sail on a journey from Venice to China.
Marco mia, cara mia.
After a painful parting, the marvelous Marco could have laid out only one of the following tools. Which one of the following items could have been used by Marco to help plot out his course to China? Could he have used radar equipment? A globe? A telescope? A magnetic compass? Well, he certainly could not have used radar. Radar is a modern device. And the telescope was invented in the 1600s. As for the globe, absolutely not. In Marco's time, people believed the world was as flat as a pancake. But the one item Marco could have used was a magnetic compass. These had been around since the early 1100s. So, bon voyage, marvelous Marco. May you know east from west and our best to Kubla Khan. And now we turn to 1910 and observe the barefoot and lovely expressive dancer, Isadora Duncan. Now, in expressing her expressiveness, she could have worn a tunic made out of all of the following fabrics except one. Which one could her costume not have been made of? Pure silk, 100% cotton, flowing nylon, or fine wool? Well, she could have had a costume of pure wool, silk, or cotton. All had been around for thousands of years. But nylon is a synthetic fabric, introduced in 1938 and made of synthetic, not natural fibers. Dance, Isadora, dance! And now, let us turn the page to colonial America. It is the year 1712, and young Benjamin Franklin is playing in his backyard. Now, which one of the following items could young Ben not have played with? A kite for flying, a toy train, a top for spinning, or brightly colored marbles? Well, available to colonial children were marbles, tops, and certainly kites for flying. But what the absolutely adorable Ben could not have played with was a toy train, because the first steam engine didn't chug-a-lug along until 1824. Sorry, Ben, you're on the wrong track. But anyway, it's time for bed. Remember, early to bed and early to rise. And now it's time to close the book of Rongovia. The sun is coming up, so it's time to say good night. I bid you farewell with a fond hello.
Game number 6. The final game.
This is Chuck Roast the Riddler, and have I got pot boilers for you? I'm talking belly busters, thigh slappers, and gigantic groans. So get ready to guffaw and squeal. Now, did you hear about the burglar who took a bath? Splash, splash. He wanted to make a clean getaway. Here's soap in your eye, and now for my first riddle. This is political, so get out and vote. Who is elected for 4 years, signs laws, gives speeches, and rattles? Who is elected, signs laws, gives speeches, and rattles? I'll tell you. The President of the United Snakes. Don't you fool me out there. I'm Chuck Roast, the Riddler. Now, are you ready for this one? What did the knight in shining armor do when he met the blue monster? Now, don't run away from this one. So what did the knight do when he met the blue monster? He cheered him up. So the monster wasn't blue anymore. Get it? And speaking of colorful monsters, what did the knight do when he met the green monster? What did he do? He waited until the green monster ripened. What a growl. And now we go underwater for a fishy fairy fable. Now, what did Cinderella fish wear to the ball? Swish, swish. What did the fair Cinderella fish wear? She wore glass flippers. And what a time she had! Holy mackerel! And now for my final riddle. Why are all four-legged animals bad dancers? I heard this one from Fred Astaire himself. So, why are all four-legged animals bad dancers? Don't trip on this one. Why? Because they have two left feet. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, stop booing, stop hooting. That's it from Chuck Roast, your pitiful puzzler. And remember what the monkey said when he climbed down the giraffe's neck. So long. Brain Games is now over. But nylon is a synthetic fabric introduced in 1938 and made of synthetic, not natural fibers. Dance, Isadora, dance! He waited until the green monster ripened. What a growl. This big pussycat sleeps like a baby when he dozes. But when he's up, watch out!
Straight as an arrow, he leads a band that makes England merry. He's Robin Hood.
The pranksters have landed. The pranksters have landed.
And Priscilla the Python, she can have 100 or more eggs just wait to hatch and slither. But she's still not the winner.
And what about George the Jock? He's gone from 2 small weights to 1 big dumbbell. Do it, Georgie.
And remember what the monkey said when he climbed down the giraffe's neck. So long.
The preceding program has been recommended for family viewing by the National Education Association.
Join the fun music and laughs. Whether it's Red, Gobo, Moki, or the Gorgs, you're in for a good time at Fraggle Rock. Next.
Every day, people turn to HBO for a world of entertainment. Entertainment that comes home in a special way for the lucky winners of HBO sweepstakes. When HBO presented the epic miniseries, The Far Pavilions, 8 viewers won trips to India to see the Far Pavilions themselves.
I couldn't believe this at first. I really couldn't believe it.
While Sugar Ray Leonard trained for his comeback, Bryant and Yvette Layton won ringside seats to the fight.
I really got into it. We were yelling and everything.
The Hall family won the Fraggle Rock sweepstakes and came to New York to be part of all the excitement of Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and toured Jim Henson's workshop.
I think it's just great.
And on Super Bowl Sunday, Joe Zarcone and his fiancée Shelley were at the game, courtesy of Inside the NFL.
It's like something you never believe would happen to you and happen to somebody else.
HBO brings you a world of entertainment, a world that comes even closer when you win an HBO sweepstakes.
Thanks, HBO. It's been great.
This is definitely a first.
Thanks, HBO.
Was
was an old man named Michael Finnegan.
What can you say about Michael Finnegan? He has a house that used to be grand, a job that used to be important, and a life that used to be easier. As a matter of fact, almost everything about Finnegan used to be.
Well, Finnegan, let's begin again.
Until he meets Liz.
Hello, you sweet thing. My, you look lovely today.
Liz isn't ready for Finnegan. Not the first time they meet.
You pull anything, mister, and I scream my head off.
Not the second.
I find you utterly presumptuous.
Maybe not ever.
Oh, God, you are so self-righteous.
Mary Tyler Moore is Liz, a woman looking for someone special. Robert Preston is Michael Finnegan, someone she is not looking for. They're mismatched, mixed up.
Is there anyone you would approve of for me?
Sure.
And just maybe
me,
perfect for each other. In the HBO premiere film, Finnegan Begin Again, a comedy with heart.
Poor old Michael Finnegan.
Tomorrow.
Begin again.
A long time from now, in a galaxy somewhere else, water is the only thing of value. Those who have it rule the universe, except for a few rebels.
Pirates, sound the alarm!
Yes, the spirit of freedom, kept alive by lusty pirates, rusty robots, and a princess. They'll boldly go wherever they have to. It's swashbuckling. It's scary. It's
very funny.
It's the spaced-out adventure of the Ice Pirates. Sunday on HBO.
Louisiana in '33 was no easy place to be. And nobody knew that better than Nathan Lee Morgan.
We've been through these hard times before, Nathan Lee. And we made it.
And what do we make it to, Rebecca? Another season sharecropping for old man Perkins? Working ourselves to death so he can get richer and we can't even eat when cropping time is done?
But you go on, grateful for life's small pleasures. And when bad times hit, they hit hard.
If I had the strength, I'd knock down these damn walls just so I could get my arms around your mama.
There was nothing to do but pray for good times to return. And they did.
Daddy, you home now. That's all I want. I don't want nothing else, just you to be home.
Now that's something to feel real good about. Cicely Tyson, Paul Winfield. They had something nobody could take away from them. Sounder.